Alright, good evening everyone. Shout out sa inyong lahat. So ayan, sa mga nasa GC po ng TNE, no. So I will share muna itong live discussion natin. Alright? So kumusta po ang lahat? Ayan, kumusta po ang lahat? So welcome to our General Education New Curriculum Session 2. Ayan, kumusta po kayo? Papasa ba? Alright. So, itong natin, isa-send natin sa discussion natin. Okay. So, ayun teachers, we have ilan tong viewers. Okay, so we have 2 viewers. All right, let's start, no? Start tayo with this question number 1. So, tingnan ko muna yung nasa natin. Ay, haba na pala ng buhok ko, no? Okay, so balik tayo dito sa ating letter review. Okay, first question, kasi may drills pa po ako maya-maya. As a social science teachers, which should teacher Nora avoid? As a social science teacher, which should teacher Nora avoid? A. Abreast with all this others issue. B. Appreciative of change. C. Facilitator of learning. D. As a sage on the stage. So what is the correct answer, teacher? Ano po ang tamang sagot dito? Is it A, B, C, or D? Okay? As a social science teacher, which should teacher Nora avoid? A. Abreast with all the other issue. B. Appreciative of change. C. Facilitator of learning. Or letter D. As a sage on the stage. So what is the correct answer, teacher? Is it A, B, C, or D? So based on the point of the question, teachers, ayan, all right. So si letter A is wrong. Letter B is wrong. And letter C is wrong. The answer here is letter D. All right. Sa letter A kasi, ay, bakit nalipat? Okay, letter A is wrong, letter B is wrong, letter C is wrong, and letter D is correct. Maliwanag po ba? So, pag sinabi po kasi natin abreast with all the other issue, a good teacher po must be updated on a current issue, no? So pag sinabing appreciative of change, teacher accept and adapt to changes in our society. So pag sinabi naman natin teacher facilitator of learning, it is a good teacher act to guide a student, 'di ba? To help to learn the student. So ang hindi lang po kailangan i-avoid ni teacher Nora is a sage on the stage. Anong ibig sabihin niyan? Okay, as a sage on the stage, they will describe that kumbaga they will describing a traditional teaching style where the teacher stand in front and lectures as the only source of knowledge. So in modern education po, nasa student-centered na tayo. So maraming method, 'di ba? So ito lang po ang kailangang i-avoid ni Teacher Nora sa letter D. Next, Gobernador General Narciso Claveria was responsible for the blank. A. Abolition of the galleon trade. B. Establishment of the tobacco monopoly. C. Use of Spanish surname by Filipinos. Or letter D. Establishment of the galleon trade. So based on the point of the choices, what is the correct answer, teachers? I-erase muna natin, no? Erase ko muna ito, mga ka-warriors. Okay, so balik na natin sa highlighter, no? So, ano pa ang tamang sagot dito? Gobernador General Narciso Claveria was responsible for the blank. A. Abolition of the galleon trade. B. Establishment of the tobacco monopoly, C, use of Spanish surname by Filipinos, or letter D, establishment of the galleon trade. So based on the point of the choices, teacher, what is the correct answer? So i-check natin yung mga nandito sa natin live. Okay, so kumusta po? All right. So ano pang tamang sagot dito? Is it A, B, C, or D? Ayan, biglang kumati ulo ko tuloy. Okay, is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, so galleon trade, no? So, si letter A is the abolition of galleon trade, no? Okay, so let's start. Okay, si letter D ka, establishment of the galleon trade, establishment of tobacco monopoly, or use of Spanish by a Filipino teacher. So, ano bang ginawa ni Narciso Claveria? Okay, so dito po teachers, the answer is letter C. Use of Spanish surname by the Filipino. So, tandaan niyo po, teacher, si A tsaka si D same. Sabi ni letter A kasi abolition of the galleon trade. Si letter D naman, establishment of the galleon trade. Abolish, tapos nag-establish, no? So, A and D, teacher, the galleon trade was established during what? Kailan po in-establish ang galleon trade? During 1565. Kung sa pagkakaalala nyo po, in-establish po ang galleon trade during 1565. So, kailan po ito na-abolish? Ang galleon trade, na-abolish po siya during 1815. Okay, so hindi po siya gawa by the General Narciso Claveria. Maliwanag, kailan nga po na-establish ang galleon trade? During 1565. Kailan na-abolish? 1815. Okay. So, si letter B po, is it wrong? Kasi ang tobacco monopoly po, teacher, was created by Governor or General Jose Basco. So, tandaan nyo po, ang nag-establish po ng tobacco monopoly is si Jose Basco. Hindi po si Narciso Claveria. So, si Narciso Claveria po ang tamang sagot. Letter C, because Governor General Claveria issue the Claveria Decree. Okay, di ba may in-issue na Claveria Decree ordering that Filipinos to adopt Spanish surname from catalog. So this made for what? Census and tax collection teachers. Kaya tamang sagot is letter C. Okay po, yun po ang ginawa ni Narciso Claveria. Next, whose philosophy gives prominence to faith in understanding the existence of God? Whose philosophy gives prominence to faith in understanding the existence of God? A. Saint Benedict, B. Saint Peter, C. Saint Augustine, or letter D, is it a Saint John? Okay, shout out kay Mariana Shell Dato at kay Angie Sumalplong. Okay, yung mga nasa po natin, GC, okay, nood muna po kayo kasi maya-maya mag-start naman tayo for the BTL and AFA. So tapusin muna natin yung 20 question ditong pre-discussion. Okay, so teachers, whose philosophy gives prominence to faith in understanding the existence of God? Okay, so ang sagot po dito is letter C. Si Saint Augustine. Okay, so si Saint Benedict, si Saint Peter, saka si Saint John, may iba po yan na mga rules. So, pag sinabi pong gives the prominence to faith in understanding the existence of God, okay, the answer is si Saint Augustine. So, famous po siya for the principle of faith-seeking or understanding, no? So, he thought that faith is a starting point to truly understand God and His nature. Kaya tamang sagot po is letter C. Maliwanag po? So next. Who among the Filipino statesmen was the most vocal to speak against the country foreign policy of close association with American? Who among the following Filipino statesmen was the most vocal to speak against the country foreign policy of close association with American? A. Claro M. Recto, B. Manuel Luis Quezon, C. Cayetano Arellano, or letter D. Jose P. Laurel. So ano po ba? Speak against the country of foreign policy association with American daw. Is that si Claro M. Recto ba? Is it Manuel Luis Quezon, si Cayetano ba, or si Jose P. Laurel? So what is the correct answer here, teachers? Okay, so shout out sa lahat. Okay, anong technique ang ginagamit natin to pass the board examination? Number 1 is elimination method. Anong kinalaman ni Jose P. Laurel dito? Okay, mali po si Jose P. Laurel. Kasi si Jose P. Laurel, teacher, nag-serve po siya as a president during what? Kailan nag-serve si Jose P. Laurel? O kailan po siya nag-serve, mga ka-warriors? Diba nag-serve si Jose P. Laurel during Japanese regime or Japanese occupation. Okay? So that's the correct wrong answer. Si Jose P. Laurel. Okay, nag-serve po siya during the Japanese occupation or Japanese regime. So next, tanggalin natin si Manuel Luis Quezon. Si Quezon po, nakapokus po siya more on what? Saan siya nakapokus? Social justice. Saan nga po nakapokus si Manuel Luis Quezon? Sa social justice and independence of the preparation teacher. Kaya mali po si letter D. So we have two choices, Claro M. Recto or Cayetano. So the answer here is letter A. Claro M. Recto po ang tamang sagot. Si Cayetano Arellano po, teacher, is it wrong? Kasi si Arellano po, siya po ang first Chief Justice. Okay, so it is not known for opposing a US tie. O siya yung naging Chief of Justice. Si Cayetano Arellano. Okay po. So, kauna-unahan. Okay, si Claro M. Recto po. Okay, si Claro M. Recto, ito yung tinatawag nating The Great. O anong tawag natin kay Claro M. Recto? The Great Dissenter. Ano nga palit ang tawag kay Claro M. Recto? The Great Dissenter. So they will strongly oppose yung mga US military bases, no? Yung mga parity rights, yung mga excessive American influence teacher that believing this compromise Philippine sovereignty. Kaya tamang sagot si letter A. Claro M. Recto. Kilala po siya as a great dissenter. Okay po? So the answer is alpha. Next one. Of the 7 continents comprising continuous land mass surrounded by a big bodies of water, the biggest is 30.1% of the earth is blank. Of the 7 continents comprising continuous land mass surrounded big bodies of water, the biggest 30.1% of the earth is blank. A. Asia, B. Australia, C. Europe, or letter D. Northern America. So what is the correct answer, teachers? Ayan, teachers, paki-like and share naman po ng ating live discussion dito sa Maestra Bicolana, TLE Tambayan. So ang pinaka-large po is no other than letter A. Ang largest continent po is the Asia. So si B, si C, at si D, is it wrong? Okay? The other continent, teacher, are much smaller in land area. Ang pinakamalaki po is Asia. Okay, ano po ang pinaka-largest continent? Okay, Asia is the largest continent covering about 30.1% of Earth total land area. So it is also the most populated sa Asia. Kaya tamang sagot si letter A. Maliwanag po. So next, civilization is where large ideas and tools as well as human settlement flourished. Where do historians say civilization had first been born? Civilization is where large ideas and tools as well as human settlement flourish. Where do historians say civilization had first been born? A. China, B. Middle East, C. Egypt, D. Jordan. So what is the correct answer here, teacher? All right, ano po ang tamang sagot, mga ka-warriors? Okay, ang sagot, is it Middle East ba? Okay, civilization China ba, Egypt, or Jordan? Okay, so ang sagot dito, teacher A, letter B, Middle East. Ang China po, teacher, tsaka Egypt, na-develop po yan later. Later lang po na-develop. And Jordan is just one country within the region. Kaya ligwak din po si letter D. Middle East is the correct answer. Kasi po, the earliest civilization arose in the Middle East, especially po, specifically po in the Fertile Crescent, no? Between the Tigris and what? Euphrates River. So this is known as the cradle of civilization. So sa Middle East po ang Fertile Crescent between what? Tigris and Euphrates River. Maliwanag po. So nasa Middle East po yan. Kaya tamang sagot si letter B. Siya po yung civilization is where the large ideas and tools as well as human settlement flourished. Okay, so next question. Which is the largest country in Asia? O ano daw ang pinaka-largest country in Asia? A. China. O ito B to ha. B. Philippines. C. Japan. Or letter D. Thailand. So anong pinakamalawak na country in Asia? Okay, so kung makikita ninyo teacher, si Japan, si Thailand, si Pilipinas, maliliit lang po to. Ang largest country in Asia is the China. Okay, so the Philippines, Japan, and Thailand are smaller in size, no? So pag sinabi naman natin China, China is the largest land area in Asia covering about ilan? They will covering about 9.6. Okay, meron po siyang 9.6 million square kilometers. So it is bigger than the other choices. Mas malaki pa rin po si China. Okay po. So next, what was the power to set aside certain by the Kingdom of Spain to the Governor General of the Philippines? What was the power to set aside certain by the Kingdom of Spain to the Governor General of the Philippines? A. Veto power. B. Condign power. C. Condition power. Or letter C. Compensatory power. So anong klaseng power ba ang hinahanap natin, no? Is it condition, veto, condition, condign, or compensation? So here, based on the point of the question, is set aside by the certain by the Kingdom of Spain, no? To the Governor General of the Philippines. So the answer here is no other than letter B, ay letter A, veto power. Veto power is the correct answer. Yung condign, condition, and compensation, teacher, is it wrong? Maliwanag po, it is the other term are not power used under the Spanish colonial system. So letter A is the correct answer sa letter A. Kasi ang veto power po, it is poder de veto. Okay? Ang tawag po dyan, poder de veto. They will allow that the Governor General to reject or suspend or set aside laws or decision he thought were not beneficial to the Spanish crown. Kaya tamang sagot si letter A. Maliwanag po, teachers? Okay, so next. What best describe the form of government of England with its parliament, a prime minister, and a queen or king? What best describe the form of government of England with its parliament, a prime minister, and a queen or a king? A. Constitutional monarchy. B. Anarchism. C. Ethnocracy. D. Democracy. So what is the correct answer, teacher? Described by the England automatic. The answer here is no other than the answer is alpha, constitutional monarchy. Meron silang hari at reyna. Itong sa letter B, anarchism po, teachers, means wala po siyang government, no? Government sa letter B. Sa letter C naman, ethnocracy, it is the rule by the ethnic group. Okay, ang sinusundan po nito is the rule by the ethnic group. O, di ba? So, yun po yun. And then, sa letter D naman, teachers, okay, letter D naman, teacher, it is the rule by a random selection. So, it is not used by the England. Kaligwak din po si letter A. So, ang constitutional monarchy, it is the king and queen, is the symbolic head of the state, no? But they will revere or governing yung power po, teacher, that belongs to the elected elected parliament and prime minister. So, yun po ang constitutional monarchy. Maliwanag po ba, teacher? So, next one. Who was the revolutionary leader who refused to surrender to the American even after General Malvar surrendered and declared himself president and commander-in-chief of the supreme government of the Tagalog archipelago? Who was the revolutionary leader who refused to surrender to the American even after General Malvar surrendered and declared himself president and commander-in-chief of the supreme government of the Tagalog archipelago? A. Julian Montalan. B. Macario Sakay. C. Licerio Geronimo. Or letter D. Artemio Recarte. So what is the correct answer, teacher? Is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, so ano po ang tamang sagot dito? So ang sagot is, sino po yon? The answer is si Macario Sakay. Itong si letter A, si letter C, saka si letter D, lahat po yan. Okay, it is the other leader either surrender or not, it claim a title. Maliwanag po ba? So si Macario Sakay po, teacher, it is continue that the revolution after Aguinaldo and Malvar surrendered, so they will establish the Tagalog Republic and they will declare himself a president to keep fighting for the independence. Okay, so may nag-message. Okay, may nag-message kasi sa akin, guys, sa Zoom. Maya-maya start tayo. Tapusin natin to. Which religious missionaries first arrived in the Philippines? Which religious missionaries first arrived in the Philippines? A. Dominicans, B. Franciscans, C. Jesuits, or letter D. Agustinian. So, kauna-unahang nag-arrive dito sa Pilipinas. Okay, ang sagot. O ano yung sino ay yung unang nag-arrive? 'Di ba si letter D? Okay, anong taon nag-arrive ang Franciscan? O, they will arrive during 1577. O, nag-arrive siya during 1577. Okay, what about si letter C? Kailan siya nag-arrive? They will be arrived during 1581. Okay, si Dominican naman, dumating to sa Pilipinas 1587. O, yan yung tatandaan nyo. Ang kauna-unahan, si letter D. Nag-arrive po siya dito sa Pilipinas during 1565. Okay, so siya ang nauna. Okay, si Agustinian. Okay, they will arrive first in 1565 with the Legazpi Ordineta Expedition. Okay, sa pamamahala naman to ni Legazpi Ordineta Expedition. Okay, during 1565. Katamang sagot si letter D. Siya ang kauna-unahan. Next, who were the aboriginal settlers in the island prior to succeeding migrants who crossed the sea from the southern Philippines? Who were the aboriginal settlers in the island prior to succeed migrants who crossed the seas from the southern Philippines? A. Sumatran, B. Malayan, C. Bornans, or D. Negrito. So what is the correct answer, teachers? Okay, so ang kauna-unaha po dito, teachers, is si Negrito. O, Negrito po, si Malay, si Brunei, at si letter B, is it wrong? Okay, so mali po yan. Okay, so Negrito is the correct answer. Okay, so ito yung mga tinatawag nating Aita or Atis. Okay, so it is earliest inhabitants arriving mga nasa 30,000 years ago via land. Okay, so kaya tamang sagot is Negritos. Okay po, Negritos. Okay, so next. What religious institution is the only living remnant of the Philippine Revolution of 1896 today? What religious institution is the only living remnant of the Philippine Revolution of 1896 today? A. Philippine Independent Church, B. Roman Catholic Church, C. Unitarian Church of the Philippines. D. United Church of the Philippines. So what is the correct answer here, teacher? Okay, so ang sagot po dito, teachers, is alpha. Okay, alpha is the correct answer, Philippine Independent Church. Okay, si Roman Catholic Church, Unitarian, and United Church po, teachers. It is the churches existed before or were not formed from the Revolution. So, bakit si letter A ang tamang sagot? Okay, the Philippine Independent Church po, teacher, or Aglipayan Church, kung tawagin natin, it was founded during 1902. Okay, nakita to during 1902. So it is a direct or result of what? Of 1896 revolution. So it is separating from what? From the Catholic Church to the end of Spanish prior rule. So katamang sagot si letter A. Next, the Philippines lies in the blank. An area where many volcanoes are active. A. Archipelagic fault line. B. Ring of fire. C. Wheel of fire. D. Volcanic rim. So, ano ang Pilipinas? Bakit marami tayong vulkan? Okay, bakit? Nasaan bang Pilipinas? Nasa Ring of Fire. So, kaya tamang sagot si letter B. So, letter C, letter A, is it wrong? Okay, so letter B is the correct answer, Pacific Ring of Fire. It is the horseshoe shape, no? Horseshoe shape zone around the Pacific Ocean. So it is also known for the frequent earthquakes and mga volcanic activity. Okay? So ang Pilipinas naka-located po sa Pacific Ring of Fire. Okay? So next, the energy source which is abundant in the Philippines but still not fully developed is the energy source which is abundant in the Philippines but still not fully developed is the A. Gas, B. Sun, C. Sea, D. Mineral. So what is the correct answer, teachers? Ano po ang tamang sagot, mga ka-warriors? The answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The answer, teachers, is no other than is letter B. Okay. So itong letter A, si gas, si C, si mineral, teachers, is the ang gas and C, it is the energy, and the mineral are either limited or already being used, di ba? So sun naman, sun. The Philippines is near in the equator, no? So they will receive abundant sunlight. Um, ang Pilipinas, they will receive abundant sunlight all year around, no? So however, technology and structure na gumagamit ng mga solar system, they are still not widely established. So the answer is letter B. Maliwanag po? Okay, so next. Which is an example of a non-pathogenic microorganism? Which is an example of non-pathogenic microorganism? Is it Plasmodium falciparum, B. Influenza, C. Probiotics such as Bifidobacteria, D. Yersinia pestis. So what is the correct answer here, teachers? Is it A, B, C, or D? Alright, so anong isasagot ng mga future LPTs natin? So example of non-pathogenic, the answer is letter C. Probiotics ang tamang sagot. So itong letter A, it is causes of malaria, teacher. Causes po yan ng malaria. So si letter B naman, mali po siya. Causes of flu. O pag may flu kayo, okay, so si letter D, mali din. Okay? So si probiotic po, it is not a cause of disease. Okay? So kaya tamang sagot is letter C. Next. Monosaccharide, oligosaccharide, and polysaccharides are types of blank. A. Protein, B. Lipids, C. Nucleotides, D. Carbohydrates. So anong tawag sa kanila? Is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, so ang tawag po dyan, si monosaccharide, oligosaccharide, lahat po yan nasa carbohydrates. Ang protein po, teachers, okay, ang protein, lipids, at letter C, mali po yan. Okay, so meron po yung mga iba't ibang structure and function. So si monosaccharide, di ba, itong monosaccharide, it is a simple sugar. Oligosaccharides naman, we have 2 to 10 sugar units, and polysaccharides naman, it is a long chain of sugar. Kaya tamang sagot is carbohydrates. carbohydrates. Okay? So, they will classify based on the number of sugar units. Kaya tawag po dyan is carbohydrates. Next. Air, like food and water, is an essential element in human existence. Carried by the wind, polluted air, cold blank, falls to earth, poisoning fish and destroying vegetation. Air, like food and water, is an essential element in human existence. Carried by the wind, polluted air, cold, falls to earth, poisoning fish and destroying vegetation. A. El Nino. B. Greenhouse rain. C. La Nina, or letter D. Acid rain. So what is the correct answer, teachers? Ano po ang tamang sagot dito? Okay, paliwanag natin. Ang tamang sagot is acid rain. Kasi nagkakaroon ng earth poisoning of fish, nadi-destroy, di ba? So itong si El Nino, si La Nina, si tag-ulan, si tag-init, tsaka si greenhouse rain po, teachers, it is yung mga weather patterns, di ba? Itong El Nino, La Nina, mga weather patterns yan. Si greenhouse rain naman, it is not the correct answer, di ba? So, acid rain is the correct answer. Kasi po, teachers, ang acid rain, they will form yung pag acid rain kasi they will form a sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide. So, pag nagmix yan into water, pH, so, kumbaga, pag nagmix yan into water vapor, it lower the soil and water pH, so they harming plants and aquatic life. Kaya tamang sagot si letter D, acidic rain, or acidic tuloy, acid rain. Okay? So, what are the components of a fungal cell wall? So, what are the components of a fungal cell wall? A. Chitin, proteins, and sugar. B. Nucleic acid, protein, and sugar. C. Lipids, protein, and sugar. Or letter D. Cellular and protein. So, what is the correct answer here, teachers? Okay, so ponggal, no? Ponggal. All right, the answer is, okay, so tanggalin natin si letter B, C, and D. Lahat po yan cellulose na nakikita natin in a plant cell. Okay, sa plant cell walls, yung mga lipids, yung mga nucleic acid, okay, are not a main components here. So, ang chitin po, protein, and sugar, ito po ang tamang sagot. Kasi ito po yung mga tinatawag nating fungal cells wall are made of chitin combined with protein and carbohydrates. Kaya tamang sagot si letter A. Last question, teachers, kasi may drills ako sa Zoom. Okay. What is the molecule that allow plants to capture energy from a sunlight? What is the molecule that allows plant to capture energy from a sunlight? Carbohydrates ba? B. Chlorophyll, C. ATP, or letter D. Is it oxygen? So, unang tanggalin natin, teacher, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the product of photosynthesis. Ito namang A, ATP, is it wrong? Because it is the energy currency, not a light capturer. So, we have two choices. The answer is letter B. Letter D, is it wrong? Oxygen is released by a product. Okay? So, chlorophyll is the correct answer because it is the green pigment, di ba? Yung mga green pigment and leaves, and they will absorb sunlight energy to start the process of photosynthesis. Kaya tamang sagot si letter B. Thank you so much, teacher, sa pakikinig po sa Maestra Bicolana TL Tambayan. Pasensya na kung mabilis ako mag-discuss ngayon kasi po may drills po kami sa Zoom. Alright, so shout out po sa mga nanonood, sa mga estudyante ko dito sa Maestra Bicolana TL Tambayan. Shout out po sa inyong lahat. So ako po ay magpapaalam na. Okay, so that's all, guys. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Mabuhay. Okay, so magpo-proceed po ako sa natin, Zoom. Kasi may Zoom pa po si Ma'am Grace. Okay po, so pagpasensyahan niyo na kung mabilisan tayo ngayon. Okay, so tomorrow, we have pre-discussion for BPL and ICT naman. Okay, ICT tayo. So, after that, we discuss naman for sa gabi. Okay, so ayan, teachers, thank you so much and have a good day. Don't forget to share our live discussion. Okay po, naghihintay na kasi yung mga estudyante ko. Thank you, bye-bye!